Time is more precious than money. You can always earn more cash, build more income streams, or grow your savings. But once a moment slips through your fingers, it's gone forever. Time doesn't come with a refund policy. And yet, so many people live as if their minutes are worthless, tossing them away on complaints, fears, pointless conversations, and regrets that serve no purpose. And then, they sit in frustration, wondering why their goals seem to drift further and further away. Let me share something with you, and I hope these words stay with you. Your future isn't written in the stars. It's written in your minutes, in how you use them. Waste your minutes, and you throw away your future. That's why today I want to challenge you. Open your eyes. Open your heart. Open your life to a new level of awareness. Because we're about to uncover the quiet thieves that rob you of your time, your growth, and your deepest potential. But more than just identifying the problem, we're going to talk about how to stop them. Because here's the truth. Once you learn to manage your time, you gain the power to manage your entire life. So stay right here. Listen with intent. Just one powerful insight today could reclaim years of life that you didn't even realize you were losing. And believe me, when you reach the later chapters of life, you'll wish you had those years back. So let's begin with the biggest time thief of all: excuses. If there's one thing that has crushed more dreams than lack of talent, more than lack of money, more than lack of opportunity, it's this: excuses. These little lies we whisper to ourselves to stay in the comfort zone. They're soft pillows for tough times, but they come at a steep cost. Excuses might give you temporary comfort today, but tomorrow they'll become the very chains that hold you back. Every time you choose an excuse, you make a quiet deal, trading in a piece of your future for a few seconds of ease. You swap progress for comfort, potential for mediocrity. And let's be honest, is that ever a fair trade? Sure, it's easy to blame the government, your childhood, the economy, your boss, the traffic, the weather, even your own past mistakes. That takes no effort. But here's the hard part, and the golden part. It's standing up and saying, "No more excuses. I take ownership of my life," because the moment you claim responsibility, you reclaim control. You can't change anything you keep making excuses for. You can only change what you're willing to own. People often say, "But Jim, I had a rough start." And I tell them, that may be true, but you can still have a phenomenal finish. Others say, "Jim, I've got so many disadvantages." And my answer is always the same. Turn your disadvantages into your drive. Don't let them become your reasons to quit. Many of the walls you think are stopping you, they're paper thin. One bold decision, and you can walk right through them. Let me share a life-changing truth with you. If you want the future to be different, you have to be different. If you want things to improve, you must improve. It starts with the person. In the mirror, not luck, not the economy, not your circumstances. So here's the question I want you to really reflect on today. Are you building a fortress of excuses? Or are you building a bridge made of effort? Excuses are easy. Effort is powerful. Excuses drain your energy. Effort strengthens your soul. Excuses keep you stuck in dreams. Effort transforms those dreams into reality. You choose every morning, every moment. So let's make a new commitment together. No more blaming, no more waiting, no more wishing for things to be different. From now on, it's about responsibility. It's about discipline. It's about action. Because when you stop throwing time away on excuses, you start investing it in excellence. And that's one investment that pays off for life. Your future is still wide open, waiting for you to step forward. But first, there's another silent thief we need to talk about. Let's move ahead, because the clock keeps ticking. And the next enemy? Worry. In the previous part, we faced the silent thief of excuses. Now, we turn our attention to another, time bandit, one that's even more deceptive because it often feels responsible, even noble. But make no mistake, worry is not wisdom. Worrying is like paying interest on a debt that doesn't exist. You give away your peace, your energy, your focus, all for something that may never even happen. And yet, how many people spend their days trapped in that mental loop? They worry about what might go wrong, what could go wrong, the what-ifs that may someday come true in some possible way. But let me be very clear. Worry is not preparation. It won't shield you from tomorrow's challenges. It only drains today's strength. The truth is, uncertainty is simply part of the deal in life. No one gets a blueprint with all the answers. But here's the game changer. Uncertainty isn't your enemy. Wasted worry is. You'll face the unknown, no doubt about that. The real question is, will you face it with faith or with fear? Some people will say, "But Jim, I worry because I care." And I say no. If you truly care, you don't waste time worrying. You prepare, you plan, you strengthen yourself for what might come. That's what real caring looks like. Because while worry freezes you in place, preparation moves you forward. And statistics back it up. Around 90% of what we worry about never even happens. And the 10% that does, it's usually not nearly as bad as our imagination made it out to be. So why lose sleep over shadows that might never fall? Why surrender an irreplaceable hour to a fear that lives only in your mind? Here's a better approach. If there's something you can do, then do it. Take action. Patch the roof before the storm. Seal the cracks before the rain arrives. Don't wait for the problem to knock on your door. Meet it at the gate, ready. But if there's nothing you can do, if it's truly out of your hands, then breathe, release it, and refocus your energy on what you can change today. You'll be amazed to discover that action is the antidote to anxiety. Movement quiets emotion, and even in the darkest moments, a mind that's prepared, a heart that's steady, and hands that are ready will always outperform one paralyzed by worry. So here's your challenge, your mindset upgrade. Every time worry tries to creep in, swap it out. Replace it with work. Replace fear with faith. Replace frozen inaction with thoughtful preparation. Because if you waste your present fearing the future, you lose the one and only moment that can actually make a difference. This one. And trust me, your future deserves much better than that. So stop throwing away precious time on worry. Instead, build a life so solid, so grounded, so well prepared that when the storm finally comes, and it will come, you can stand tall, smile, and say with full confidence, "I was ready. Let's keep going. The clock hasn't paused, and neither should you." Now let's turn to another silent killer of time and purpose, negative conversations. Because just like worry, the words you surround yourself with shape the life you live. In the last part, we uncovered how negative conversations can quietly poison your mindset and steer your life off course. Now let's take it a step further. Because protecting your mental space isn't about arrogance, it's about awareness. I'm not talking about being rude or judgmental. I'm talking about something far more important, guarding your mind as if it were a vault of priceless treasures. Because the truth is, it is. Your mind is your most valuable real estate, and not everyone deserves a key to that front door. You have to become the gatekeeper of your own thoughts. Not every opinion should get a seat at your mental table. Not every voice deserves to echo in your inner world. When someone around you begins to gossip, be the one who gently changes the subject. When the conversation turns to blame, be the one who shifts it back toward personal responsibility. And when someone starts to complain, ask a simple but powerful question. What's the solution? Why? Because leadership begins with words. Wisdom is born in conversation. And yes, success often starts with the language you choose to speak and listen to every day. You show me someone who spends their time wallowing in negativity, and I'll show you someone unknowingly draining their future, one toxic conversation at a time. But show me someone who surrounds themselves with growth-minded people, thinkers, doers, builders, and I'll show you someone destined for something extraordinary. So here's your challenge. Audit your dialogue. Take inventory of your associations. Guard your mental space like your destiny depends on it, because it absolutely does. Stop wasting time in conversations that pull you down and start investing time in ones that lift you higher. Seek out voices that stretch your thinking, spark your creativity, and challenge your comfort zone. Because when you change your conversations, you change your thoughts. And when you change your thoughts, you begin to reshape your life. And that, my friend, is a conversation worth having. Now let's move forward. The seconds are still slipping by. Next, we need to talk about a modern-day trap that silently devours dreams: idle entertainment. Entertainment in and of itself isn't the enemy. A good film, a sports game, an evening of laughter, they have their place. But too much of it, too often, and you start trading your ambition for amusement. And before you know it, your dreams are drifting away while you sit back and watch someone else's scripted story. Here's where most people go wrong. They've built a full-time entertainment lifestyle and only a part-time ambition. They can quote every line from the latest show, but can't recall the last time they read a chapter from a meaningful book. They know celebrity gossip better than their own goals. They binge-watch for hours, but can't focus for 10 minutes on self-growth. And then they wonder why they're stuck, why progress feels out of reach. The answer is simple. They traded their most valuable hours for shallow moments of escape. Here's the truth. Success requires presence. It demands energy, attention, and intention. Every hour spent on endless scrolling, mindless shows, or meaningless noise is an hour stolen from your future self, the one you claim to want to become. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not telling you to eliminate fun from your life. You should laugh. You should rest. You should recharge. But here's the key. Earn it. Work hard first. Sharpen your edge. Do something that matters. Then reward yourself. Celebrate progress, not distraction. That's how you create a life that feels free, because it was built with purpose. Too many people have flipped this around. They celebrate before they create. They relax before they've even started building. They take the weekend before they've earned their week. As my mentor once told me, if you want to play first, you'll have to pay. But if you handle the discipline up front, the joy that follows will be even sweeter. So here's my challenge to you today. Pause the endless scroll. Mute the background noise. Power down the distractions and power up your potential. Turn off the screen and turn the page of a book. Trade just 1 hour of passive entertainment for an hour of intentional growth. 1 evening of mindless fun for one of purposeful planning. Because entertainment might give you a good laugh today, but education, that will give you freedom tomorrow. Let's keep going. There's one more silent killer of time we need to uncover. And it's not on your screen. It's inside your head. Previously, we talked about the subtle trap of idle entertainment, how it can quietly steal your time, your focus, and your future. And now we move on to something even more powerful and just as dangerous if you're not careful: the people you surround yourself with. Recreation may lift your spirits for a fleeting moment, but it's discipline that will elevate your entire life. So instead of pouring time into mindless distraction, invest it in building the future you actually desire. Because at the end of the day, the greatest performance you'll ever witness is the life you create with your own hands. Let's keep going. The seconds are ticking. Now it's time to stop wasting time with the wrong people. This one's tough, but it's vital. Because if you spend enough time around the wrong crowd, you will begin to reflect them. That's not a theory. It's a law of life. You become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Their thoughts begin to shape yours. Their habits blend into your routines. Their attitudes seep into your mindset. If your inner circle is made up of complainers, eventually you'll find yourself grumbling too. If it's filled with excuse makers, you'll start justifying your own inaction. And if your circle is full of dreamers who never act, soon you'll be dreaming more and doing less. Association is powerful. It has the potential to build your future, or slowly, silently bury it. Now, don't get me wrong. This isn't about looking down on others or cutting people off harshly. It's about being deeply intentional with your time, your thoughts, and your future. Guard them. Guard them like your destiny depends on it, because it truly does. Some people enter your life as blessings. Others arrive as lessons. And then there are those who feel like anchors. Not because they're bad people, but because they're not on the same path. They're not interested in growth, change, or vision. They're comfortable staying exactly where they are. But if you stay tethered to them, you'll eventually stop moving forward. Not because you lack ambition, but because you're using all your strength just to drag dead weight. And over time, that burden wears you down. You have to develop the clarity and courage to recognize when a relationship is costing you more than it's contributing. Remember this principle. Expand your associations upward. Seek out those who dream bigger, think broader, expect more of themselves, and inspire more from you. Surround yourself with mentors who challenge you to rise higher, with friends who speak life into your goals, with peers who take action, not just talk about it. Be close to people who make you better, not bitter. Be around those who fan your inner fire, not the ones who try to smother it. Because the wrong crowd, they'll cost you your dreams. But the right ones, they'll launch you toward your destiny faster than you ever imagined. So here's your challenge today. Do a relationship audit. Look around. Who are the 5 people you're around the most? Where are they going? Are they sharpening you or dulling your edge? Are they lifting you up or pulling you under? And most importantly, do you have the strength to make the tough choices? Because your future is too valuable to leave in the wrong hands. Stop wasting your precious time with the wrong people. Start investing your energy into relationships that breathe life into your mission. Because who you walk with shapes where you'll end up. Association isn't just a small detail, it's a defining factor. The difference between a life of regret and a life of greatness often starts with who's walking beside you. Let's keep going, because time waits for no one. Now let's address another mistake that robs people of their potential: starting the day without a clear plan. Because if your day begins without direction, it usually ends in distraction. In the last section, we revealed the power of surrounding yourself with the right people. But even with the best circle around you, your progress will stall if you wake up each day with no direction. That's why we now turn to something essential: having a plan. If you don't design your own life blueprint, chances are you'll end up a character in someone else's plan. And guess what they've got in store for you? Not much. Maybe a small part. A background role. That's why you must take the reins and build your own script, one that's written down, clear, and actionable. Not just vague dreams floating in your head, not a someday idea, but a real plan on paper. You need to ask yourself, what are my goals? What truly matters today? What specific action can I take now that will move me closer to where I want to be tomorrow? Here's a powerful truth. Every minute spent in planning can save you 10 minutes in execution. That's a 1,000% return on your time. Think about it. What investment gives you that kind of return? Some people protest, but Jim, life is unpredictable. And they're right. Life is unpredictable. And that's exactly why you need a plan. A good plan is like a lighthouse during a storm. The winds may howl, the waters may rise, but the beam of light helps you hold your course. So here's your challenge today. Before your head hits the pillow tonight, map out tomorrow. Don't wait for inspiration in the morning. Don't gamble your success on how you feel when you wake up. Decide in advance what matters. Commit to it. Live each day by design, not by default. Because here's what happens without a plan. Every little distraction turns into a crisis. Every temptation starts to feel justified. Every minor task feels urgent. And suddenly, you're busy but not productive, spinning your wheels but going nowhere. But with a plan, you reclaim your power. You transform into a builder, an architect of your own destiny. You become someone who doesn't drift with the tide, but drives their course with focus and purpose. So stop wasting time without a plan. Start investing time with one. Because a day well planned is already half won before it even begins. Now let's keep going. Time isn't waiting, and neither should you. Next, we face a heavy anchor that holds many people back: regret. We all have a past. Some parts are joyful, some parts are painful. Some memories lift us, others haunt us. But here's the truth. You cannot move forward if your eyes are constantly glued to the rearview mirror. Regret has its purpose, for a moment. It can awaken you. It can teach you a valuable lesson. It can give you insight. But beyond that brief awakening, regret becomes a poison. It traps you in yesterday. It locks you into cycles of guilt. It drains the energy you need to shape today. The past is a reference point, not a residence. You are not the sum of your past mistakes. You are the sum of what you choose to do next. Yes, you've failed before. Yes, you've trusted the wrong people. You've missed chances. You've made poor choices. You've said yes when you should have said no, and no when you should have said yes. Welcome to being human. But success doesn't belong to the flawless. It belongs to those who refuse to let failure be their final chapter. Life isn't about perfect records. It's about powerful comebacks. It's about choosing to graduate from the lessons of your past, not remain stuck in them. Learn, grow, and then move on. Don't let your past become a prison. Let it be a platform. Here's what I've learned. You can't change what's behind you, but you can redeem what's ahead. You can decide that today won't look like yesterday. You can write a new ending to the same old story. So forgive. Let go. Not because others deserve it, but because you deserve peace. Release the bitterness. Release the guilt. Not to forget, but to stop being bound by it. Freedom from the past isn't amnesia. It's power. The power to choose your future, unchained. So, here's your challenge. Stop wasting time regretting the past. Start investing your energy into building the future. Because today, this moment, is your most valuable asset. Today holds your opportunity. Today is your clean page, if you're willing to write on it. Remember, yesterday ended last night. And today, it's a new beginning. A fresh start. Let's move forward. The clock keeps ticking. Now, let's talk about another silent time thief. One that wears 1,000 disguises, trying to control what's out of your hands. In the last section, we learned that dwelling on things we can't control only drains us. The key is shifting focus inward to what can be managed. Your mindset, your energy, your choices. And that's where real power begins. Let me tell you something that has the potential to set you free. You don't get to control everything in life. But the good news is, you don't have to. What you do get to control, and what makes all the difference, is yourself. Your attitude, your reactions, your decisions, your persistence. That's where your strength lives. Life, in many ways, is like a hand of cards. You don't control which ones you're dealt, but you always control how you play them. Some people get a rough hand and immediately fold. Others, they get the same bad cards, and yet somehow they rise. What sets them apart? 3 things: focus, energy, and ownership. The winners in life don't waste time complaining about the hand they were given. They master the game. They lean into what they can influence and play with intelligence and grit. So here's the golden rule. Focus only on what you can control and let go of the rest. You can't calm the storm, but you can build a stronger ship. You can't stop the winds, but you can adjust your sails. You can't force people to treat you with respect, but you can choose to walk with integrity no matter how they act. When you stop wasting time battling the uncontrollables, you reclaim energy. Energy that can be redirected into things that matter. Your discipline, your preparation, your consistency, your growth. That's how you build a life that no storm can sink. So here's your challenge today. Become aware. The next time frustration bubbles up over something beyond your control, pause, take a breath, ask yourself, is this something I can change? If the answer is yes, act boldly. If it's no, release it completely. Master your focus. Guard your energy. Lead with your attitude. Because the most powerful people aren't those who control the world. They're the ones who control themselves when the world spins out of control. So, stop wasting your life trying to manage the wind. Start mastering the way you sail, because that's where greatness is built. Let's move forward. The clock keeps ticking. Next, let's address one of the greatest dream killers of all, waiting for the perfect moment. If you've been waiting for the right time to start, let me save you a lot of wasted years. It doesn't exist. There's no magical day where everything lines up perfectly. No flawless schedule, no ideal weather, no green light from the universe. All you have is now. Just today. Just you. And the decision to move. Perfection is a myth. It's the shiny distraction that keeps people standing still. I'll start when I have more time. I'll begin when I have more money. Once I feel ready, I'll take action. Sound familiar? But here's the truth. You'll never feel fully ready. Because courage doesn't knock on your door before action. It follows action. You move first, then confidence arrives, then momentum builds. If you wait until you know everything, you'll end up knowing one thing: regret. If you wait until the conditions are perfect, you'll spend your whole life watching from the sidelines. One of the greatest lessons my mentor ever gave me was this: you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. That's how winners rise. They move, even when it's messy, even when it's scary, even when it's full of uncertainty, because they understand that motion creates momentum, and momentum is a powerful ally. Your first step? It probably won't be your best one, but it will be your most important one. Because once you're in motion, you can course correct, you can learn, you can grow. But nothing happens until that first step is taken. So don't aim for perfection. Aim for progress. Don't wait for permission. Give it to yourself. Don't wait for a door. Build one. Here's your challenge today. Whatever it is you've been putting off, start it. Write the first sentence. Send the first message. Make the first move. Because action is the cure to fear. It builds courage. It opens doors. It changes lives. And remember this timeless truth. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time? Right now. Let's keep going, because in the next section, we'll explore the final silent enemy of success, the one that disguises itself as harmless, but slowly steals your purpose. In the last part, we shattered the myth of the perfect moment. We saw that waiting leads to withering, and only action leads to growth. Now it's time to talk about one of the greatest opportunities people miss: themselves. Stop wasting time waiting for the perfect conditions. Start creating better ones by acting now, because imperfect action will always beat perfect hesitation. The clock keeps ticking. And while we're on the subject of action, here's a truth that might surprise you. If you truly want your life to change, more health, more wealth, more fulfillment, don't just work harder at your job. Start by by working harder on yourself. Because here's the bottom line. Your income will rarely grow beyond your personal development. Your happiness won't outpace your emotional maturity. Your success won't surpass your self-discipline, your mindset, or your character. We live in a world that shouts, "Go build your business, chase your dreams, work on your goals." And, yes, that matters. But let me whisper something even more powerful in your ear. Before you build the dream, build the dreamer. Your goals can only grow as high as your beliefs. Your wealth can only rise to the level of your habits. Your relationships can only deepen with your own inner clarity. So if you want to elevate your life, elevate you first. Feed your mind with great books. Practice your craft until you're skilled. Strengthen your body with discipline. Raise your energy with gratitude, because the greatest masterpiece you'll ever work on is yourself. Now, some people hear that and say, "Jim, that sounds selfish." But I say, it's not selfish. It's responsible. The stronger you are, the more value you bring to others. The wiser you are, the better you can lead. The more grounded you are, the more others can lean on you. When you grow, everyone around you benefits. But if you keep pouring into everything and everyone without ever replenishing your own soul, eventually you run dry. You can't give what you don't have. You can't teach what you haven't learned. You can't lead where you haven't walked. So today, make a promise to yourself. I will become a lifelong learner. I will invest in my growth. I will guard my thoughts. I will upgrade my habits. I will work harder on myself than I do on anything else because my future depends on it. Don't just wish for a better life. Become a better you, and the life will follow. So stop wasting time avoiding the work of self-growth. Start investing in the most important project you'll ever manage, the person you're becoming. Because success isn't something you chase, it's something you attract by the person you become. Let's move forward. The clock is still ticking. Now let's take a moment to zoom out, to see the bigger picture. Time, the one thing you can't get back. Lose money? You can earn it again. Lose a job? You can find another. Lose possessions? You can replace them. But when time is gone, it's gone forever. That's why everything we've talked about today matters so much. Because how you spend your minutes is how you spend your life. We've covered it all. Stop wasting time on excuses. Stop wasting time on worry. Stop wasting time in negative conversations, idle entertainment, the wrong people. Stop wasting time drifting without a plan, dwelling on the past, fighting what you can't control, waiting for the perfect moment. And most importantly, stop wasting time by not working on yourself. Every minute you waste is a missed moment to become who you were meant to be. So today, decide. Decide to take back control. Decide to become a master of your time. Protect your minutes like gold. It won't always be easy. You'll be tempted, distracted, pulled in 100 directions. But if you stay focused, if you stay consistent, you will one day look back and say, "I'm so glad I paid the price. I'm so glad I took control. I'm so glad I stopped wasting time and started building my life." Your future is being written right now, not tomorrow, not next year, now, in this moment, in this decision. Don't just let life happen to you. Design it, build it, own it, because greatness doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who act. So stop wasting time. Start living with purpose. The clock is ticking. And greatness, your greatness, is calling. It's your time now. So, if you've been waiting for a sign, this is it. Your time is now. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Now. Make the decision to stop wasting your life and start building the one you were meant to live. If this message spoke to you, do one small thing that makes a big impact. Like this video, share it with someone who needs to. Hear it and subscribe for more content that pushes you forward. Your future is waiting. Let's go claim it together.